Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to thank you all again for joining me on the podcast. It has been great as far as me getting back into the groove of doing my uploads, having worthy content to post. I try not to rely too much on the media. I try to just go off of what I'm feeling, but of course, today's topic is going to be based off of what I've recently seen on one of the late night shows, which was Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, if you don't know who Jimmy Kimmel is a comedian and he hosts a late night show. I don't really know the name of it because I don't really watch it. And that's just me being honest. And in his show, he had a guest appearance, which was Kanye West. Now, I know everyone has seen it. I am a little bit late to the dinner party, but understand I brought my appetite. So, Kanye West immediately gets on and he goes to his personal experiences with some of the questions. I feel like the questions are not that deep, but Kanye West, of course, he's a deep brother, and you gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. And I read a few comments after I went back and just watched it again, just for pure entertainment. Some of the people were saying, when Kanye gets up there, he's trying to sound smart, or he's trying to sound deep, or he always sounds like he's about to cry. I say this: the very thing that he was talking about the people who were in the comment section. The people just being negative. Not negative like realizing negativity. No, being negative like talking about this guy in a negative plot, trying to deter him from doing what he is, or being what he is, or who he is to become. Because he's even spoken and said he's not his best self, and he knows that. That's what he's trying to get to. He took the words right out of a lot of philosophical people's mouths. That's what everyone needs to be striving to become the better selves. And yes, he did mention that people are too busy stuck in this cycle. You're stuck in this inevitable pit of doom where everything is decided for you before you even want to do it, just based off of other people and them recognizing history. And he's absolutely right. We are focused too much on the past that we can't focus on now and the future. And for those who do focus on the now and the future, we always call those people corny or crazy, or they have mental health issues. No, those people are brilliant people, and they're trying to get past their circumstance. They're trying to get past their past, if that makes any sense. So I'm sitting here and watching it, and at first I felt like I wasn't going to enjoy it. But as he went on, I was like, wow. This guy sounds like the modern day Marley. Sounds like the modern day Marley. Maybe not executing it the way he executed it, but everyone is different, which is why he's unique in his own right. And me trying to get a grasp of exactly what people are hating about is exactly what it is. It's just pure hating, because what he's saying is you need to find out who you are, what you want to be, and think for yourself. Don't allow society to think for yourself. And he used a great example that lost Jimmy. Jimmy was still stuck in reality when Kanye was just using that as a metaphor. He was just like Christ uses plenty of parables for the masses, but then the disciples would ask Christ what did he meant, or what did he mean when they were in private. Like on stage, let's just paint the picture. This is an example, a hypothetical. Christ is on stage and he's giving his sermon to the people, and he's speaking in parables. Well, the people in the crowd are really not responding to it. So after the show is over, he goes in the back and he has his crew, his disciples, his posse. The guys, they go back into the dressing room and they say, man, what did you mean by that you said that on a... That's the same thing that Kanye was giving, and Jimmy and the crowd and the audience really couldn't understand. They really were like, this guy sounds crazy, but if you listen to him and really listen to him, you will understand what he meant. And I understood exactly what he meant when he said, hey, it's just as if we're trying to teach kids what to do. A kid sees a table, he starts getting on it, jumping on it and everything, and immediately he's chastised and told to get off the table. Boom, that's the first barrier. Okay, all right, so I'm not allowed to be free right now. Or you could use another example, however you see it, if you understand what Kanye was saying. And of course, Jimmy was like, well, you know, it's just trying to be safe. Jimmy, trying to be safe is a form of accepting fear of failure. That's what Kanye was getting at. You're afraid. Why are you afraid? Because you're taught to be afraid. It's not until you get on top of a table and you realize I got a better view of the room. The table's really sturdy. I know how to improve this table. This table maybe needs 5 legs instead of 4. You know, you're locking that person into the same matrix that everyone else is in. And you know what? I just couldn't help it but applaud this man for even being. I would if Kanye West was to become president now, I would be behind him 100%. Not because he's brown, but because the man has a great philosophy, and I can respect that. And I believe that he's trying to get himself into the Lord's chambers so he can understand exactly what he was sitting here to do. He was not sitting here to make music. Music just happened to be an avenue. He was not sitting here to make clothes and shoes and apparel and jewelry. That's just an avenue to get to his better self. And he know, but he already had spoken. He was too afraid because he thought too hard of what other people may think about him. So Jimmy is like toying around with him a little bit. But every time Kanye would reel everyone back in, because everyone would laugh, and Kanye would reel him back in. And then he did the whole, the pornography thing. I mean, hey, the man is human. I don't condone it, but to each is his own. Everyone has their own battles. Pornography is an addiction, and it can be an addiction, and it has a psychological hold on people where they create their own schemas. Now, getting back into my initial opinion about the whole thing, I would give it a 9 out of 10. I think he handled himself great. However, this automatically puts Kanye on the level of, if he has a breakdown, everybody's going to be filming it. If he has gambling debts, trouble in Vegas, having a divorce, one of his children falls ill, everyone's going to be in his face because they know that he already gave himself up. He says, I'm not the bipolar person that gets low. I'm the bipolar person that gets high. I get amped up and revved up, and I don't know how to control myself. He come in, and next thing you know, he on his tippy toes, and he's pointing his fingers down somebody's nose. He's that type of bipolar, and he expressed that. And people can see that. He can't control it. Once it get to a point, he can't control it. He said he's glad that people on TMZ and those who watch TMZ saw him in his outraged form. He said, because that's what bipolar looks like on a high spectrum, not the low spectrum of major depressive disorder. I know a person who has major depression disorder. That person is a sorry sap. He sucks the joy out of a room. This guy, Kanye, I believe, is trying to raise awareness about mental health, which is good because it exists, and it's taboo to talk about it in the African American community. But that's what we have to do. Yes, we are a people who have been oppressed and suppressed.
Excuse me, there is a message for you.
To the point where we need to address some of our psychological issues. And I truly appreciate Kanye West doing what he did. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the content, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, always leave a comment. If you aren't already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I post new vids. You guys have a great day.